Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today I'm walking the streets of Nanning. Yes, I'm walking the streets of Nanning once again. I don't want to get run over by these boys on bikes, so I better watch my ass. Well, one of the things I want to say is Saturday morning we're going to be talking about how the Western media portrays China in a bad way. Yeah, and because that's what this video is about, you can tune in on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock China time. You're gonna have to figure that one out yourself. I think it's 4 o'clock Pacific time. 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Well, I can't be sure of this, Atlantic time. But you can go on there, you can do super chats, you can ask questions, you can get answers, and you can, of course, question Gweilo's stance on this one. So everybody out there that loves me or hates me, you can always go on the Saturday morning live chat with Alex Absolute. Yeah, we got Alex Absolute for the first time. We got Jayoe Nation, or Jayoe Nation, Matt. He's a king in the YouTube world. We got Alex from Reporterfy Media and yours truly, Gweilo 60. All right, the rest of the world is sort of shitting on China here lately. Like they planned this CV and made it so they did it on purpose. It killed as much people in Hubei province, where you're looking at a place like Wuhan, where they took the brunt of the storm on this thing. Sure, they took it on the chin, but economically they took it really bad. Oh, I'm gonna get run over here on the street. Wei Fong has got the bike behind me. She's shopping for lights, and she'll be along shortly and hopefully pick me up. But you see, China sort of took it on the chin economically because they had to shut down their entire economy. Yeah, they did, and that's not good for any country now. And they gave everybody like 2 months notice on this, and they really took advantage of that 2-month time period in China to make it so they didn't lose a whole bunch of people. They lost money instead. And for Chinese, and I know China pretty good, Chinese love their cash, but in China life is more important, so they took it on the chin economically. The rest of the world seems to think that China did this on purpose, or there's a lot of haters out there that think that China did this on purpose. I know it's loud here, but hey, this is China, it's just the way it is. If I don't get run over, I like to sort of leapfrog from spot to spot, because it's probably the safest way to get around this place, especially when you're walking. And you get all the haters out there saying, oh, China's got to pay us back. Yeah, oh, it cost our economy, so we're going to sue China. Yeah, okay, but then they don't understand that you go back to 2009 in California when the H1N1 came out. It killed like a lot of people. I'm not even sure how much it was. It goes anywhere from like 50,000 up to 500,000 depending on who you talk to. But still, it's way more than what the CV has cost in lives. Sure, the economic downside of this one, because everybody frickin' shut down, that's a bigger economic hit than the H1N1. But you see, the thing is that the United States never shut nothing down. They just let it ride its course out. Herd immunity. New words, eh? Herd immunity. Let everybody get it, and whoever it kills, it kills. Exactly. So now everybody's saying, oh, China's got to pay. We should sue China. We should do this. We should do that. But oh, they don't look at the AIDS, HIV thing that started in the United States. No, mad cow disease. Oh, forget it. You only have to persecute the Chinese people when it comes to something like this. Yeah, because it's China's fault. Of course it's China's fault. They plan this. How the fuck can you plan, or how the hell can you plan anything like an epidemic like this? You just can't. Yeah, street cop, eh? You just can't. It's impossible. So blaming China for something like this is just ludicrous and stupidity. And it's those haters out there, the haters that maybe you're going to see on the live chat on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. I'm sort of looking forward to this one, because it's maybe our way as China YouTubers to quell some of the misgivings about how China has dealt with this, because China has dealt very well with this in my mind. You look at Spain, you look at Italy, look at the United States. They all have smaller populations than China, and they're basically devastated, literally devastated. And it's a tough thing. I don't wish this on anybody, but the idea that it's not China's fault, it's just something that happened. They say, oh, it started in a wet market. It was introduced to the wet market. They say, oh, they're eating wild animals. Well, I've eaten elk, moose, bear, geese, ducks, all wild animals that we've shot in the wild in Canada. So, you know, the idea of wild animals, yeah, in China they eat dog. I've seen it. I've seen cats in the wet markets. I've seen snakes. I've never seen bats and rats, guys. That's bullshit. You know, maybe a bat bit of pangolin and you know, whatever, but you're not going to be buying those in the wet markets anywhere that I've seen in China. It just doesn't exist from what I've seen. Maybe in some places it could. I know in Indonesia it does. I've even heard in Florida it does, but not the wet markets. I'm not sure where they get the bats in Florida. But you know, the idea is that the Western media is persecuting China in the news over and over and over again, and I don't get it. It's like taking advantage of a bad situation to get ratings, to make money, I would imagine, and stuff like that just doesn't float my boat very good. It's one of those things that I think is a low blow. I think that you could probably say the same about a lot of countries when they're having problems or bad things have happened in their countries. When you're trying to persecute a country like China or any other country in the world because of the bad things that happened in their country that they have no control over, maybe you should check yourself, just for the fact that nobody wanted this. It's devastated China and Hubei province. Actually, I was talking with Dr. Robert this morning, and he's being shipped out from Wuhan back close to home for 14 days of quarantine before he gets to go back to his family. So it's basically over in Hubei province, in Wuhan, and I think that's a good thing. Everybody also says, China, they're fudging their numbers. Why would China fudge their numbers? I don't get it. There's really no reason for anything like that. It's got to be 4 times more. It's got to be 10 times more. Well, I know in Nanning or in Guangxi province, we had 254 cases. As I said in a previous video, 2 people died. That's pretty sad. Older people, mind you. And 252 recovered. So there is 0 cases right now in Guangxi province. So even if it's 10 times more, 0 times 10 is still 0. And that's the way it is, guys. So we pretty well beat it here in China. Could there be a second wave? Yeah, there could be. And that's why everybody's walking around with masks on, because they don't know. They're not sure. And it's as scary here as it is in your country where you're watching this video from. So keep that in mind when you're trying to ostracize the Chinese people, ostracize the Chinese government, for doing the best that they possibly can in a bad situation. And the Western media, shame on you guys for trying to make money, trying to make viewers off of the hardships that the people around the world are going through. And China's one of those peoples around the world that is going through some rough times. You get YouTubers that are doing exactly the same thing. I think they're shitheads, and you know what I think about that. You know, they'll take a shot at you. They'll take a shot at the pro-China YouTubers, and they're just adding to the hate out there, and they think that they're good people for doing this. No, they're basically turds. And when Gweilo 60 sees a turd or hears a turd, he calls it a turd, and that's just it. You know, the idea that they can do this and get away with it, yeah, whatever. They're looking for views, just like the mainstream media is looking for views. Most of them are obscure little channels that nobody even watches anyway. And you guys know who you are. But after it's all said and done, the world will be a better place because people think positive instead of negative. And meet us on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock China time for a live discussion with the four of us on this subject. You know, as foreigners living in China, each of us has sort of an investment in the country, and we try to sort of dispel these shit rumors that and the hate that we see, and you know, the idea of having Chinese wives, Chinese children, all of these things. It's one of those things that you see the hate that's sort of directed at the Chinese people, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's at the government, it's not the people." No, it's at the people. It's at the Chinese people, and everybody knows that. They don't want to say it, but it's always been like that. From Chinese head taxes to exclusion acts to whatever it is, you need to speak fluent English before you can immigrate to our country. All of these different things, I've seen it. I'm an immigration consultant from a way back, and I see these things. I know what discrimination looks like, and I've seen it firsthand, being on the other side, dealing with Canadian immigration. Yes, sirree. You know, so the idea that they try to hide behind this facade of oh, we don't like the CCP, we love the Chinese people, that's bullshit. And we'll talk to you Saturday morning about this. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lovers and a lot of haters there. Come on. All you got to do is show up, and I'll be there. That's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to hit the bell. Don't forget to comment. And whatever you guys do, don't forget to put a couple of bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand. We can give them that helping hand. Help me, help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.